The month of April is here, and that means a batch of new PlayStation 4 games. However, there are also games that you're probably better off waiting for a sale on, and there are, of course, games, or in this case, a game I would recommend you to buy right away. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We've got 1 game to buy and 9 to wait on a sale for, or skip altogether. Let's get right into it, and starting off with the buy has to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is out April 10th. We've been waiting 15 years for this game, literally 15 years, going back to E3 of 2005, where Square Enix thought it would be a great idea to show off what Final Fantasy VII would hypothetically look like on the PlayStation 3. Well, now, after years of begging, pleading, Square Enix is coming through with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, you can make the argument, well, this is only part 1 of the story. However, we know that Final Fantasy VII, this remake is going to be a lot more fleshed out. There's going to be a lot more content, so I still imagine that the content is going to be very, very plentiful. The game is already out in the wild. There are probably spoilers being posted online, so I do implore you to wait until April 10th if you're waiting until the day the game comes out and you're downloading it on PSN or whatever the case may be. But for your $60, I really think you're going to get an experience that is expansive, that has a sizable amount of content, and something that gamers are going to end up really enjoying. And man, if you've never played Final Fantasy VII and all of this is completely fresh to you and you don't know what the story is going to entail, you are in for one thrill ride, because that's exactly what Final Fantasy VII is. Ups, downs, emotional moments. There is so much to love about Final Fantasy VII, and I can't wait. The fact we're finally getting a remake on April 10th, it's a buy immediately, and it's going to be worth your $60. Alright, now let's talk about the 9 games I think you're better off waiting for a sale on, and some of them might even surprise you guys. First of all, this might be a little bit controversial, but based on the reviews, based on everything that's being said, I really do believe you're better off waiting on a sale for Resident Evil 3. That's out April 3rd. Now, I get it, Resident Evil 2 was phenomenal. However, Resident Evil 2 was also a game that went on sale relatively quickly. This isn't necessarily always going to be about games that are going to be excellent, games that are going to be really good, but rather getting the most bang for your buck and managing the desire of a game and the necessity to spend $60. That's really what we're trying to get at. Resident Evil 3 is going to have a very, very short campaign. We know that it's going to be around 5 to 7 hours long, and then you're talking about the Resident Evil Resistance multiplayer component that is still not a proven commodity at this point, and at the end of the day, I do think the game is going to go on sale relatively quickly, much like Resident Evil 2. We got that game at, $25 to $30 just a few months after release. I really think that's going to be the case with Resident Evil 3 as well. I do believe it's going to be a great game. I believe if you're a fan of Resident Evil, you're going to really enjoy it. You know what RE3 is all about, but at this point, I do think you're best off waiting for a sale, especially if you're the kind of gamer that looks at the amount of content a game is going to have for your $60. I really think Resident Evil 3 is going to be a little bit sparse in that regard. However, if you're a big Resident Evil fan, this is one that's very much going to be on that line. Some people are going to buy it right away. I think others, it's going to be very, very advantageous of them and their wallet to wait a little bit and buy it on sale. Alright, next up, this is another game that I was just on the borderline of recommending because I really enjoyed the demo, and that is Trials of Mana. It's out April 24th. It is at $50, which I think is just a tad bit pricey. I think if it was at $39.99, it would be a great buy. $50 for this game, I just think is a little bit too high, and the fact of the matter is, I know a lot of you guys picked up Persona 5 Royal, and you're picking up Final Fantasy VII Remake on April 10th. Do you really need to stack on another JRPG? Is there going to be any way that you're going to make it through those games by the time April 24th comes around? I don't think so. I think you're best off playing through P5 Royal, playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake if you're a big JRPG fan, and then come the time when Trails of Mana actually goes on sale, I should say Trials of Mana goes on sale, you'll be best off buying it then, and if it is, at $25 to $30, I think it'll be a great buy then. But at this point, while I really enjoyed the demo, I do think you're better off waiting on a sale for this one. Next up, we have Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack. This is out April 23rd, and Azure Striker is awesome. However, the games are relatively highly priced. That's always been the case, and I think you're best off waiting on a sale for these ones. This includes 2 games. You've got Azure Striker Gunvolt and the follow-up title, so you do get a duo of games. However, at $40, or it might be just a little bit too pricey. I think if you can get it on sale for $20, I think that's a great buy. You can usually find the Nintendo Switch version of the bundle on sale for around that, and I do believe it'll ultimately end up going on sale pretty quickly. This is the kind of game that is gonna have that happen to it. It's out April 23rd. If you're a big fan of Mega Man style games, however, this is definitely one to keep on your radar, and one that I'm personally very much excited for, and from a personal bias standpoint, it might be one that I pick up right away. Alright, next up we have Hellpoint, which is out April 16th. A lot of you guys don't even know what Hellpoint is. It's a brand new Souls-like game that I think is shaping up really, really nicely. The Souls-like genre obviously has a lot of games out right now. Nioh 2 was a game a lot of you guys picked up on, so I don't know if Hellpoint is going to be the game a lot of people are going to be in the mood to play right away. It's an intense action RPG that takes place on Irid Nouveau, a derelict space station soaked in an intoxicating dark sci-fi atmosphere. It's got a great look to it. I think it's going to be a very atmospheric game. However, I do think you are best off waiting until not only the game goes on sale, but also seeing how the general reception to the game is, because Souls-like titles, sometimes they're really good, and sometimes it seems like they're just trying to cash in on that Souls-like wave. Hellpoint looks really good. We'll see how it does turn out on April 16th, but I think this is definitely a wait-and-see kind of game. Next up, we have Below, which was a game that was on PC and Xbox One for a very long time. Below is a solitary journey through the haunted depths of a forbidden isle. Explore, survive, and discover. Below has a lot to like. You can test your adventure metal against the isle's procedural subterranean labyrinths, explore a large interconnected underworld crawling with cunning wildlife, deadly traps, and stalked by a shadowy presence. The game again had a mixed reception on both PC and Xbox One, mainly because the challenging was like crippling difficult at times. It was so difficult. However, with the PS4 release, they are adding an exploration mode, so that's going to make the game a lot more engaging and easy to get into for people that are looking to just explore the great atmosphere and world of Below. I think that's going to add a layer to the game. It was released at $25. I don't think it's a $25 purchase right out of the gate. This is a game I could easily see being a plus title at some point, so I think you're best off waiting for a bit, but definitely one to keep on your radar. Alright, next up, another JRPG. Yeah, the last month has just been crazy for JRPG. Sakura Wars is out April 28th. At a full $59.99, again, Sakura Wars is probably not a game I'd pick up right away, especially because it's a Sega-published game, and if you look at the history of Sega-published games, they go on sale pretty quickly. Catherine Full Body has gone on sale pretty quickly. It's now down to $30. It came out at $60, and you look at other Sega-published titles, even Yakuza, Project Judgment, I should just say Judgment, they go on sale relatively quickly, all things considered, and Sakura Wars, again, another JRPG, which I just don't know if people are gonna be able to get to after playing Persona 5 Royal, after playing Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I mean, if you can rush through these games, which probably isn't ideal, but if you're rushing through these games and you can make it to April 28th, completing FF7 Remake, completing P5 Royal, then I guess for JRPG fanatics, Sakura Wars would be something to check out, and I would go with Sakura Wars over Trials of Mana at this point based on what I've seen, but Trials of Mana looks great as well. Hey, some people are going to end up buying all four, and I can see that all four JRPGs are probably going to be pretty good. It's just that, again, you got to manage what to buy right now and what's going to be better off waiting on a sale for, and I think in this case, Sakura Wars and Trials of Mana are the two JRPGs you do end up waiting on a sale for. Next up, brand new PlayStation 4 console exclusive Predator Hunting Grounds is due out on April 24th. I'm very excited for this one from a personal standpoint. It is a 4v1 multiplayer game, which we're seeing a lot of these days. I mean, Resident Evil Resistance, that's what it is. It's a 4v1 multiplayer title. The beta was pretty good. It's another game I do foresee it going on sale pretty quickly. If it's released at a good price, and then it does ultimately go on sale even lower than that, like $40, and then it's down to $20. I think at a $20 purchase, it'll be really good. The sad thing about this one is this is a game that inherently you gotta convince a couple of buddies to pick up as well. So if you're in the mindset that you can get some friends to buy it as well, maybe it'll be worth a buy right away. Otherwise, I think it'll be an easier sell for everybody once it's at a cheaper price point, but it is out April 24th. Next up, here's a game I'm very excited for and not getting a lot of attention, but Disaster Report 4 Summer Memories, a brand new game from NIS that is very different from the typical NIS game they put out. Very mature, you're in a earthquake and you're trying to survive in a destroyed town, just a very, very unique game. It's a game that I'm also very skeptical on. It's something so unique that I just don't know how it's going to turn out. However, it is Disaster Report 4, but nonetheless, Disaster Report 4 Summer Memories is due out April 7th. And lastly, we have Deliver Us the Moon. That'll be out April 24th, and this one is a horror title that's been received pretty well, all things considered. More of a sci-fi atmospheric title, but Deliver Us the Moon has been a pretty well-received game, but it's been out for a little bit on PC. It came out back in October of 2019, and rather than it being a horror game, really it is more of a sci-fi atmospheric title where a lot of mystery is going to be uncovered. $24.99 was the price point of this game. It was a shorter experience, so the fact that $25 $25 for a shorter game. Obviously, that's going to be a little off-putting, but I think on a sale as a PS Plus title, this is going to be one to check out in the future, just not right away on the April 24th release date. So that's going to conclude this video. Again, I think April is going to be a month where some people are also just inherently selective, not only with everything that's going on in the world. Sony's running a massive spring sale in 2 sections right now, so if you want some great games, you can get great games at great deals right now as well, and maybe it would be more advantageous spending your $60 on a variety of different games, or spending, you know, $15 on one game, which is very much doable with the spring sale going on right now. But that's going to conclude this video. Definitely sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.